Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm going to toss this one over to Josh.
Thank you. All right, Kagurabachi, chapter number 81, Core. So last week, things took a turn for the worst in the Kumanabi headquarters base. Hakuri, our favorite sorcerer in this series, undebatable, was being escorted around the headquarters by a member named Kuro, one of the masters of the Kumanabi headquarters, as a matter of fact. Turns out that there were traitors in the organization. They were being blackmailed by, putting their, they got their family members put in danger or whatever. So, yeah. And the way they betrayed the Kumanabi was by ingesting these seeds that, upon death, expand into these huge roots that will go throughout the building and ultimately disrupt and destroy the barrier. I believe. So, one such thing happened right next to Hakuri, and Kuro was able to get Hakuri out the way and saving him, but it seems like he died in the process. So moving forward, we're at for this week, we have Master Izaru, one of the heads of the Kumanabi, the guy with the wicked sideburns that had mad beef with Chihiro.
Are they even sideburns?
A whole bunch of arguing.
They're sideburns, but they're here. So.
What the hell is going on? You're right. I didn't pay attention. He has like the handlebars. Think about like a handlebar mustache.
Yeah.
But no mustache, just handlebars. Wolfed out handlebars.
Inverted handlebars. Usually the handlebars are here, but now they're here. I don't even know what this is called. What would you call it?
And I'm telling you, he shaved. You see this part here, like on that I'm pointing to.
Right.
He cuts everything else but the sides,
this part,
and has let it grow out for like years, centuries.
And he keeps shaving the other parts.
That's dedication. Yeah. He never ever. He maybe touches it up a little bit.
I like to think that
everything else is clean.
I like to think that a barber fucked him up once, and then he just committed. He tried to play it off like this was on purpose.
He's like, nah, I like this. He says, no, this is what I wanted.
Oh, you mean my inverted handlebar mustache? Yeah, no, that's a style.
Yeah. And I wanted to go to that LMFAO concert.
I wanted it. I love LMFAO.
Yeah. Anyway, he's talking to the people in the core barrier room, the important space that keeps the barrier alive or whatever. And he gives a little bit of an exposition about what the 4 important things that the Kumanabi has to protect, even with their lives: the force field's core, the Shinuchi, the Swordmaster, and Ellipses. We have a panel of Hakuri. Maybe he's the 4th one. I don't know. But he's running, and he keeps telling himself that he's a core fighter. He's a core fighter, trying to keep himself hyped. So, he doesn't get down on himself. He runs in to another Kumanami member, but he's on super high alert because he already knows that, a few of the people there could possibly be traitors. And this guy's like, I'm the troop leader who reports directly to Kudo. I'm Kashima. And he's like, Mr. Kudo wants to find you. Is he not with you? And Haku's just staring at him like, he doesn't know if he should trust him or not. He's like, what's wrong? Then over the loudspeakers, we get the explanation that, the Kumanami headquarters have been infiltrated, and they detect at least 50 seeds. At least 50 more seeds, and there's 500 people. So the math is 1 in every 10 people at least. So niggas is on high alert.
Mm-hmm.
The head guy, the one that just met Hakuri, was named Kashima. He was I'm on a roll this week with the names.
Yeah, look at you.
Kashima's like Kashima's shouting out orders to everybody, like saying, yo, like stay a few meters apart from each other, start scouring the base to like check for like where people might, where the sorcerers are, where, et cetera, et cetera. And then out of nowhere, we see Mr. Kudo come down the hallway, which surprised me, and he is like hurt, from like what happened like with the branch incident. And he's like, because the guy gives Hakuri the order to go like to head towards the Shinuchi because that's his mission. I forgot to mention that earlier, but yeah, Kudo's like, it's too dangerous to go alone. Like, I'm gonna come with you. So Hakuri's like, oh, like you're alive, and he's like, yeah, I got lucky, man. And then Kashima's like, halt. and Kudo's like, Kashima, like yeah, it's even though like I'm hurt or whatever, like he still has to go alone. Like he still shouldn't go alone. Like everything's riding on him. And Kashima is like precisely like, yeah, I stopped because I seen it was a delay.
Yeah.
But we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Yeah, so Kashimo is persisting, saying like nah, like he should just go alone, like just to be safe. Haku's like, yeah, but like Mr. Kudo risked his life to save me back there, and he's like, nope, no exceptions, just go. And Kudo's like kind of yelling at Kashimo, like, yo, it's me. And after he tells him to halt again, they're all staring at each other. And
I think this is
Hakuri
a double.
notices there's somebody like this woman.
Hold on, I think they literally printed the same page twice.
Oh, it is.
What?
Adding out the pages.
There's 2 pages that are exactly the same.
Huh?
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
7 and 8.
Which pages?
7 and 8. It's the same one that you were just talking about. When Mr. Kudo comes in, they're like, Mr. Kudo, you're alive. It's the same page twice in a row. It's funny. I think it's just like a little error, like a publishing error, but like
I don't see it.
He doesn't tell him to halt again.
I don't see it.
You don't see it? It's right there. It's the page with where he says halt.
All right, page
7 and page 8 are the same page.
halt. You're right. After he says, Mr. Kudo, you're alive.
Mm-hmm. Then the next page after that is the exact
He says
same
halt.
page.
And he says, yeah, but Mr. Kudo risked his life. No, they're different pages.
No,
what are you guys
No, it's
talking
not.
about?
It's the same page.
Guys,
Page 7 and
then,
page 8.
then my shit is updated.
Yeah, yours is probably updated because I'm looking directly at it.
Yeah.
And it's 2 pages in a row. Let me see. Let me refresh my my Kagurabachi chapter.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
That's
I refreshed. I refreshed.
No,
the
I
app.
refreshed it too. It's crazy. Are you sure you're not seeing the same thing? It's 7 and 8.
I'm dead ass serious.
Maybe on the phone it's different.
Be right back.
Yeah, maybe on the phone it's different.
That's hilarious.
so weird.
No, it's on my phone too. Go to 7 and 8.
I'm on 8 right now. Page 7, he's like on the top right, he's saying spread out. if anyone makes suspicious moves, I'll break their limbs. I won't let anyone near you. And then that's when this
He
guy
says
comes
halt.
out of nowhere, right?
Yeah, and then the page
Huh?
after that one is
Kudo.
repeated on our end at least. Maybe
No, it says, Mr. Kudo, you're alive. I got lucky. Halt. He says, huh? Yeah, so wow, that's so weird. That's like that for y'all.
yeah, that's very weird. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you for that. I just thought it was weird.
Nah, it's okay. That was
Let me see. There's a
That's-
comment
that's,
section on each of the chapters. I want to see if anybody has the same thing. But you could go on.
yeah. Nah, sure. So where I got left off is that after this tense moment of Kashima and Kudo almost arguing with each other, Hakuri notices down the hall there's this sorcerer kind of taking an athletic stance. She has like knives in her hand, and he yells, "Get down!" But it's too late. She slashes two of the Kumanabi, two Kumanabi sorcerers' heads off, while Kashimo gets in the way to save Hakuri because she's trying to stab him. He actually gets stabbed himself, but hopefully he's okay. One of those sorcerers happen to have the seed in them, so their branches start breaking out. And Hakuri's actually able to save himself with launching an Iso at one of the branches, destroying it. Pretty cool. Let's go. He, in the process, he gets knocked back towards the wall, and when he looks up, he notices that Kudo has a knife to Kashima's neck, which clearly that's not the real Kudo. It's a shapeshifter guy, and he's like, "Whoops, time's up." I guess his clone fruit doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah. He's like, "Yeah, it was just my transformation sorcery. Mr. Kudo died protecting you."
Pointlessly, really.
Yeah, he's like, pointlessly, really.
I was like, all right, you didn't need to add that last part.
That's your opinion, dude. But,
Yeah.
so they're like, all right, that's the last of Kudo's troop. The quota has been met, and the Western Underground Sector's main force has been neutralized. Go ahead and kill Hakuri Sazanami. He's like, quota? What? And Kashin was like, with the knife to his neck, he's like, oh, run. Like, don't trust anybody. Get the fuck out of here. Excuse me.
You're good.
Sorry, I'm just giving the internet a moment to buffer. We cut back to the main core room, and they're saying one of the guys like the casualties are mounting. Something strange. It's not just the pine tree victims, and he's like, oh, they're Master Izaru. Izaru.
Yeah.
I gotta go back to the beginning. Yeah, I said, all right, Izaru. He's saying, oh, there's two types. He's like, I'm talking about the enemies here. The first have seeds planted in their bodies. He's like, they're probably like have families being held hostage, which he's right. And he's like, the other type are like the actual people who sold our information out in the first place for them to have even taken advantage of the other officers. So there is a core group of Kumanabi members that betrayed them for their own reasons, and not seemingly. After he says that to the barrier dude, he starts freaking out, and he's like, "It's over. We're gonna fucking lose. L's galore." And I was like, "Yo, hold it the fuck down, bro." He's like, just identify anyone not following orders, all right? Same with the troops. We'll know who our moments are, like, in a minute. He's like, besides, the cool thing about this ambush is we'll be able to get these traders out after we're done with this shit, which is a very positive way of looking at that.
Yeah.
So we cut back to Hakuri and those two sorcerers that just conquered Kudo's unit. I mean, goddamn, not looking good. Hakuri's also starting to have like doubt so in. He's like, damn, I'm all alone. I have to fight, but these fucking monsters are chasing me. Then he starts thinking about how like his powers are limited, so he's probably not even gonna like be able to fight them at full strength, which might not even his full strength probably wasn't enough. And then to make matters worse, he sees Uraha running towards him, the dead swordsman that Samura killed, and he's like, wow, okay, these niggas is really doing a lot. Like, that's not all right, like, you know, I can't trust what's coming towards me. It's probably somebody else copying his form, and I should just let these guys kill me. And then Uraha shouts towards Hakuri, and then he yells centipede. And in the process, he uses his EA white purity style. And then goes right over Hakuri and deals with it. And I don't think he kills them, just like parries the other two sorcerers that was coming at the Hakuri. So though naturally, Hakuri's like Mr. Ura, and he's like, oh, I'll explain later. Come with me. And that is the end of this wild ass chapter. Brian, what were your thoughts?
RGC.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me find it. There it is.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
And I'd like to say I called it. I called it.
You sure did. You and I'll even throw Chris a little bit of credit too. Brian for sure called it, and Chris was in on that. Yeah. Both pretty much said that he's definitely coming back.
Yep.
Brian was more bullish about it, but you basically was like, yeah, he's coming back. And I didn't believe it. I thought that they just was saying it that way just to sound ominous, but man, I guess I don't know my tropes, huh? I'm gonna lose a lot of bets.
They just weren't confidently killing him off. They were just saying they left avenues for him to come back.
Yeah.
They left it open-ended. They left it too open-ended.
It was very Nobara-esque.
And
I would like to add something else because I can't wait. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I can't wait. I'm going to lose this bet I have with Chris, and he knows it. He knows if Ura is actually alive, then that absolves Samura of his crimes, meaning he doesn't need to die now.
I'm not.
He can be that. He can be happy with his father, with his daughter.
I'm not
a little bit.
I'm not gonna call it yet. I still feel like I can be beat up on that one. I still feel like the rug can be pulled from under me. So I'm not going to go ahead and say it's over yet. I'm not going to count my chickens before they hatch.
But you hear what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
The things I'm saying make sense.
Yeah.
In a good way for you.
Yeah.
No,
hey, I'm not going to lie. It's looking good, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to come on here and be like, I did it, because we don't know. Samura could still very much die, and it doesn't necessarily. It could be a tragic death, where his mind is changed, but it's too late because Samura gets him. Yeah, you need this.
Do I need it bad? Yeah. Sorry, Brian. They cut you off again.
Yeah.
it's all right. I was just saying. What was I saying again?
I don't think you started yet, Brian. That you knew that Uraha was alive.
Yeah, I knew that he was alive, and you know what? I'm gonna do another shot, and I'm gonna say that Kudo isn't dead either. I'm calling it right now. The show.
Someone's feeling confident.
This guy's not a reliable source for whether Kudo is dead or not. And Kudo was too confident sending Hakuri out. He did not look like a man who was about to die. I'm telling you right now, he is not dead. He is not dead. I refuse to believe it.
Frankly, I'm not going to bet against that because I have a feeling that, you're not wrong.
I'm not betting against that for sure.
You know
The
what
only
I think?
pushback I had to that specific statement is that Hakuryu is super important for them. Super duper important.
Yeah, I agree. But he said, "Don't worry about me," and then he sent him out. And this guy's a head of the fucking. He's one of the heads of the Kamunabi. You really think a little tree explosion is gonna kill him? Come on, come on. He may not be a combatant, but he has some shit. I bet you he has some shit up his sleeve to make it out of that.
Yeah, he has one eye closed. He's a mysterious guy.
He has one eye closed and he wears this mask. And maybe if he takes off the mask, he becomes Monster Chopper or something. And,
Yep.
I bet you he's
Yeah.
fine.
That would be the best case scenario.
he shows up with a
But-
guy like this and then he throws him.
To kind of keep going though.
That would make this the best series.
I really like this Kashima guy, even though he's dead now. He rando character ended up being extremely clutch. He's probably so far the MVP of the arc just for this moment because he saved Hakuryu's life from immediate decapitation, and this whole arc is over if Hakuryu dies. So this guy having the balls to stand up to his quote unquote boss too, to be like, actually, motherfucker, you're gonna stay right there. Hakuryu, go ahead. I don't know. I kind of like this Kashima guy. It sucks that he's probably dead now. But I really liked what we saw from him. Honestly,
We didn't see him die.
there's no way they just let him live.
That would be hilarious if they just let him live.
They just toss him aside. I feel like that would be kind of. Well, I guess yeah, you're right. We didn't see him die, but it just makes sense.
Well, they
It
did
makes no
say
sense
that their
for why.
quota was met. So technically, they don't have to kill anyone else.
I don't know. All right, he feels a little too.
He's not important enough.
Character-y.
Yeah.
He's not
He's
rando
not
enough.
important enough.
He's not fodder enough.
Yeah.
I feel like he's too urgent. He was too urgent to be somebody to get thrown aside like that. But that's happened before in this series.
I don't
so-
know. He's a named goon. He may
Named
actually
goon.
make it. He may actually.
What are we talking about?
Kashima. He's not just
He's
some
a
henchman.
named
He's a named
goon.
goon.
He is a named goon. He does have a tag on it.
Huh?
He's not just a grunt.
Watch, we're gonna get to the end of the arc, and then he's just gonna be in a sling, and he'll be like, "I can't believe we made it through."
You're gonna be like,
Hakuryu's gonna hard vouch for him to join the Chihiro squad
Yeah.
if he survives. That's a hard vouch.
he
Right there.
better.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's dead.
It was, and to kind of continue on, it was funny to see the Sideburns guys say that this guy was fired after this.
Yeah.
Like the guy who is out here fucking losing his shit. He's like, this guy's for sure. Like, I'm for sure firing him. Which goes to show how confident this guy is. He knows for a fact that the Kamunabi are going to come out of this the winners, so that he can see to live another day to make sure that this guy does not have a job and he's unemployed.
Yeah, I feel that.
And
Real
now
confidence.
for-
Actually, he earned most of the book for that.
True. And now for the main event, Uruha coming back.
This dude's fired.
The white purity style is such a fucking cool ass technique. Every time it's used, it has so much fucking swag. Every time.
Yeah, a lot of about the EI purity thing where you have to turn the blade and do this cool pose. So much of it feels like unnecessary action, but is created solely for the coolness factor. You gotta go.
And then you like shoot yourself across the
And then you have to
hall,
spin the
blinding
blade.
speed.
The fucking guys, every time they do this, they have to spin the blade so that like the bladed side comes out. But they start with the blunt side of the blade and they have to spin it. And then they pull out the blade.
That's gonna be insane in the anime when it comes out, by the way. That's gonna be such a fire ass moment.
So,
Yeah, this is a pure aura forming technique for sure.
Man, I'm so excited. I hope we get some flashback shit next chapter because I need to know immediately what the fuck was up with Uruha and why it took him so long to come back, and because he had to make some kind of agreement somewhere. Like maybe he was having a secret meeting inside of the autopsy room because they were doing an autopsy, quote unquote. There was an active autopsy happening, so maybe he went on a secret mission. Maybe he got a new sword. Maybe I don't know. I'm really curious to see what the fuck is going on with him.
maybe it's linked to Samura's abilities.
Yeah, Samura definitely probably gave him the Chihiro treatment.
I have a theory.
That is
Alright.
connected to like when he went to his Phoenix mode.
I'll end my thoughts so Christian can do his theory.
First things first, this is my RGC as well.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
You know, I thought it was a very particular time to bring Uraha back. I honestly did not expect him to come back. I knew he was going to come back, but I didn't think it would be like relatively immediately after his death. I mean, it's been less than an arc since he was killed. So I expected them to give some time, kind of in the same way I thought this was going to be kind of Nobara-esque, where we wouldn't see Uraha for a long time, and then they'll just like pull him out when like, you know, the chips are really down. But yeah, it's really cool to see Uraha again. My theory as to why he's alive is I think Samura he's out to kill the swordsman, but we've seen that he can defeat them in a way that severs their connection to the swords before anything. So I think he, like Chihiro, he did the same to Uraha so that someone from the Hishaku would get the sword and he would have less compunction about killing that guy eventually. I think the plan for him was probably to get the swords in the hands of people who are actually disposable to him and then destroy and then kill those sword bearers, so that Uraha and the others can live, but not have to be killed by him later because of the sword stuff. Does that make sense?
Wait, is he cooking?
Am I cooking?
Yeah. That's why he wants to do it
Am I cooking?
in a way.
So really, that's my theory, is that his initial plan was to sever the connections between the sword masters and the blades, so that when they fall into the hands of the bad guys, he can basically kill two birds with one stone, and kill the bad guys and also kill sword bearers. I don't know. That's my 2 cents. I don't know if that's true.
So wait, you're saying that he let Uruha live?
Yeah, that he killed Uraha just enough to sever the connection between him and the Kumayuri, so that it would fall into the hands of someone like Hirohiko, someone who he could kill without any regrets, who is objectively evil.
But doesn't he have ill will to? Well, not ill will, but doesn't he have like a bit of bad feelings towards himself and the other sword bearers for what they did? Because I think the only person who he thinks is absolved of the situation is Rokuhira.
Yeah, I
believe.
mean, hey, I don't think it's accurate. It's not something I necessarily believe, but it was something I thought about. Because 2 times in a row, Samura failed to kill somebody, despite how fucking powerful he is. Like, I don't think he killed Uraha because he couldn't, because Uraha is stronger than him in any particular way. If Uraha's alive, it's because Samura left him that way.
Yeah, that's probably true. Yeah.
I don't think he hates the sword bearers. It really hurts him to have to kill most of them. I think the only one that he probably wouldn't have any problems killing is the Shinichi bearer.
Because fuck that guy.
Yeah, because fuck that guy.
We can all agree, fuck that guy.
So, you know. But I don't think he has any actual negative feelings about the other sword bearers aside from him. It's more of like a tragic happenstance that they have to die to secure the peace that he's looking for. But that's my 2 cents. I don't necessarily believe that that's the case, but I thought about it and I thought I'd vocalize my little theory here. So I'm putting forth Samura sparing agenda, and the Kashima is totally alive agendas. And those are my copes.
That is just a cope by people with agendas.
With agendas.
Sure.
That is just a cope. It's a cope.
I
Actually, I had a few things.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry. I just wanted to end it with, I wanted to say about the rest of the chapter. Kudo, I don't think is dead either. So, but maybe he is. Maybe he is just dead. It would be crazy.
Maybe he's Monster Chopper.
He could be Monster Chopper. I mean, that's my big, Monster Kudo is my agenda for this particular section of the chapter.
I hear some tapping. Some
That's
tapping
sorry.
taps.
That's my bad.
But yeah, okay. Those are all my thoughts. I thought this chapter was great. I had a great time reading it. Uraha lives. It's going to be fun to see. Will he get the Kumayure again? And then Samura's like, come on, bro. I tried to get you an out. Now I really have to kill you.
I really gotta kill you.
Come on, man.
I think that's the case, actually. I think that's the case, Chris, because I don't really have much more to add, but I'm going to say this. I think if Samura wanted to do that, why didn't he treat it the same way he treated Chihiro? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why did he make Uraha more dead than Chihiro?
Yeah. I don't know.
They said they was doing an autopsy on him, meaning that's what I remember that being the conversation. Like, well, you don't perform an autopsy on a person that's alive. I think something was done. They Frankensteined him.
Yeah.
I mean, it was that, but they weren't revealing the results of the autopsy.
Yeah, they had like results that weren't accessible to anybody who wasn't present.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people say that this is a trap as well. That this is also some kind of transformation thing, even though
that would be cringe. That'd be cringe.
Even though I feel like this
It would be kind of cringe.
I feel like this the showing off the purity style is supposed to confirm to us that this is really Uraha, because not a lot of people
And
can do this shit.
Centipede is a pretty big confirmation as well.
Yeah, because not a lot of people can do this style to begin with. So, who knows? Maybe it's a robot.
Yeah, or like he's being powered by a Death Inseki. You know that, right?
Oh, maybe.
So he can only like.
Oh, wait, you might.
Oh, for
Okay,
so
wait a
long.
second. You
Oh.
actually might be cooking.
Oh,
This guy took off the chef's hat. He just walked out of the kitchen and he's handing us a nice, delicious.
he heard
food
my
idea.
theory and how I was cooking, and then I took off my hat. It turns out Josh was just controlling me under my hat.
He was
Ratatouille
Ratatouille.
And it was actually Josh who was cooking the entire time.
I just don't know if I agree that Samura didn't mean to kill.
No, I
think-
get that. I feel that too.
I don't know, but I also feel like I agree a lot with what you said too. So I'm just a little bit of pushback.
No,
don't
yeah,
really
definitely.
feel too strongly.
I don't even believe it fully. It's just a thought that occurred to me.
Yeah, we can do that, and then everything. Hey, that's why we created the wrong burgundy bet, so that when we really,
When I feel convicted about it.
when we really want to hang your nuts, you know what
Hey,
I'm
just because you have a theory doesn't mean.
yeah,
Just because you have a theory doesn't mean you always have to believe it 100%. This is just a headcanon I'm putting out there that could be wrong.
you don't always gotta have them swing it out in the streets. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes you just keep it cordial.
You know, I'm a responsible gambler. It's why I'm 3-0 currently. Or what was it? Am I 2-0 or 3-0?
2-0.
Okay. But yeah, Josh, do you have your thoughts outside of?
Nah, that's about it. It was a really good chat there. I really enjoyed Sakamoto Days. I'm feeling a little left out. You guys don't like fights in the aquarium?
You don't like aquarium brawls?
If you follow the trend,
Brian was like, "Oh, environments, and then he gives you an environment fight, and then you flip on him like that, bro. That's crazy.
I'm sorry,
It's crazy.
but peak is just
You
too.
flipped on him, bro.
You can't ignore peak every week. You know what I mean? You can't ignore peak every week.
Peak of the week.
You fucking cheesed him, dog.
He cheesed himself. There, I said it. I said
cheesed
it.
himself.
All right. I fwacking said it. Okay.
You can't cheese what is already cheddar.
Fwicking sue me. Fwicking sue me.
What?
Where do we sue me?
Those are my thoughts.
All right. I suppose we should move on to the next one, yeah?